All right, hello everyone. We're gonna get started. Welcome to the last hand meeting of the quarter. We have a nice spicy presentation made by pretty much everyone in the whole club. So let's jump right into it. I hope you like the little animation we have here. Okay, this is very cheesy, but I wanted a little history timeline of hand. So I think even before August, we were kind of already working on creating some sort of neurotech medical club on campus. So it was really, just an idea in August. September is when I met my exec team, Nitin, Ashley, Samya. We got our club name. We got kind of our mission statement, and the vision was coming together. It was formulating. And then by October, we were able to meet with many of you to do interviews. We finally finalized our team for this school year. And we were able to do, club recruitment and meet all of our wonderful members that are here now. And then going to November, at this time, we have, many, many projects going on in hand. And I believe in winter quarter, I hope we can further our projects into greater horizons. Oh, this is so cheesy. And climb any mountains we need to climb. Okay, moving on. Just really quickly, here is currently our board of advisors for hand. We have our OG, Dr. Castillo, who's been with us from the start as our faculty advisor. Next, we have Dr. Mayo from Cleveland Clinic, who we're planning on inviting as a speaker next quarter. We have Dr. Chen, who's a podiatrist, and kind of like a recent medical school graduate. We have Lee Felsenstein, who helped in creating the first PC as our engineering advisor for the innovation team. And very recently, I think like last week, Dr. Bronstein also joined our team, acting as a medical advisor for IT. So, very proud of what we have going on here. And hopefully we can all hear from our advisors throughout this coming quarter. Okay, winter quarter. General meeting time still gonna be Tuesdays, 5 to 6 p.m. Start marking that on your calendar. And I guess we wanted to announce it early so you guys can prep for next quarter. And then we'll still have our weekly committee meetings. One thing that's new is gonna be a club calendar. We have like a lot of things going on. So we're gonna be sharing kind of a club-wide calendar where you can check for the general meetings, events, and your committee meetings. And for winter, we have, a lot of things planned for you guys. So get excited. And now we're gonna do our little quarterly recap, starting with the amazing education committee. Take it away.
Hey everyone, just a shout out to education for doing such a great job this quarter and just putting together some amazing seminars and presentations and all the social media posts and the podcast that's hopefully going to be out by the end of the quarter. So I'm just going to give the slides over to Ellen to start us off for seminars and research.
Yeah, thank you. So starting off with seminars and research squad, basically our main focus this quarter was preparing for the guest speaker meetings, ensuring that all of us were prepared for them, and as well as just leading the journal clubs, the discussion for their journal clubs. So I will be speaking on the behind the scenes work that we had. So for committee meetings, most of what we did was choose research papers in preparation for the guest speaker meetings with Dr. Bronstein and Dr. Yang. And as you can see in the pictures, the top two are the papers that we focused on. And sort of for these papers, we send them out to all the members. We created a summary for Dr. Yang's paper, and we also formulated questions for you guys for the journal club, and as well as for the guest speakers. And then another thing that we did was we decided on a general structure that we want to follow for the journal club, and we're planning on following the structure for the entire year. We'll go into further detail what that is in the next slide, but we also decided on what questions to pose to you guys during these discussions. And then also in our committee meetings, in our last committee meeting, we decided on what we wanted to follow in the winter, and we thought of various treatments for neurological disorders that we want to focus on studying, as well as we listed out neurological disorders like Alzheimer's, Tourette's, epilepsy, ALS that we want to focus on as well, and ideas for guest speakers. So yeah, that was some of the behind the scenes things that we did. I'll pass it on to the next slide.
Yeah, so in terms of stuff that we did for you guys with content-based meetings, each member of our squad took responsibility for presenting 1 to 2 slides during our Huntington's disease presentation. In addition, we also, again, one of our main goals was with the Journal Club, which we hosted during week 8 where we delivered background information about Dr. Bronstein's research and then divided all of you up into breakout rooms where we had good discussions about different questions that we posed, and then we regrouped as a collective club and recorded our ideas and our opinions and thoughts on paper. And this was all in preparation for our week 9 guest speaker event with Dr. Bronstein.
Okay, hey everyone. So I'm just, Sai and I are just gonna be briefly going over what podcast has been working for the past couple weeks. Okay, so this is just a breakdown of our podcast making process. So our main goal for this quarter was just to be able to get a single episode of the podcast out. Obviously, because there were a lot of logistics involved, like what even goes in a podcast. So our step 1 was brainstorming. We did this at our very first meeting. You know, we really had the input of the entire squad and just put out as many ideas as we could for what we wanted in a podcast possibly. And then out of those, we created some combinations of like informational tidbits and overall topics that we wanted for individual episodes. And then in step 2, we delegated tasks to different members, and we were able to get a much more in-depth outline of what we wanted for our episode 1. This included a main segment and 2 informational segments. I believe one was on neurotech and ethics, and then our other segment was our rare neurological disorders segment. Then step 3, we did this last week and the week before, was recording. So we interviewed our club president, Tiffany, for our very first episode. So we definitely had a fun time with that. And we also had individual segments that we recorded separately. And thanks to Jonathan for having some expertise in the video production area, because I know like it's a very difficult job and Jonathan really took it on. So we hope to have that first episode coming out to you very soon.
Yeah, so as Sasha said, we really took a lot of time to kind of build the idea of what we wanted this podcast to be and what we wanted to talk about. So what you guys are looking at is just the outline for our first podcast. And we had like a main theme, and then we had mini segments about rare disorders and ethics. And we hope to build on that in our future podcasts. Yeah, so on the left, you guys see a sneak peek of our interview with Tiffany. And currently our podcast is being edited. It'll be out soon. We're also working on our second one right now. We hope to get that one out sometime around the end of winter break or just sometime over winter break. And we are using a song from a UCLA artist as kind of our theme song. So just kind of a way to recognize some local artists. If any of you guys know anyone else that would be interested, just let us know and we'll check it out. Thank you guys.
Yeah, so for social media and newsletter squad, our main focus was creating content to post on our Instagram and really trying to get that up and running. And so we were really focusing on making infographics this quarter. We highlighted epilepsy because of Epilepsy Awareness Month and some other things associated with that. And then we also wanted to create some Instagram stories, especially some that would be interactive as well as informative, to really try to get people engaged with our Instagram account and learning more about what we were discussing in our general meetings, and then also just other information about neurological disorders. So the main tactic we used is we would divide up tasks so that everyone would have something to work on each week. And so Grace and Yari were working on preparing the slides for our infographics and helping to kind of go through all the research we had accumulated. And Christina did an amazing job putting everything into Canva and really formatting that very nicely. Brittany and Austin did a fantastic job with the Instagram stories and coordinated posting those every single week. And I was helping to make sure we got things done when we needed to and contributing with some research and just keeping us organized.
Yeah, so like Clara said, we did some Instagram stories. So we've included some of our stories and posts here. And we mainly posted like a recap of what we talked about in meetings and quizzes and provided some resources. So these are just some screen caps of those. And this is a quote that I think Nyari put. It says, as the Wonder Pets famously said, what's going to work? Teamwork. Like the neurons in the brain, if we all work together, we can do anything. So hopefully, like you guys saw on the last slide, we were pretty good at delegating each of the parts. So I'm pretty proud of our team because I think we worked pretty well together.
Okay, cool. So next is the outreach committee. And so what we did this quarter was we basically divided into 3 teams, as you can see over there. So awareness campaign team, events team, and high school program team. And I'll just let them take it away and go more in depth with like their jobs and the projects that they did this quarter.
Hi, so I'll be doing the awareness campaign team. So for our team, we also worked on infographics this month. And our main goal was to spread awareness, and this was done through concise and aesthetically pleasing graphics. So for our accomplishments, we made our first post, which was the National Epilepsy Awareness Month. And this post included what NEAM is and what the Awareness Month aims to do, such as like trying to fund for more research, trying to show what epilepsy really is. And we also made another infographic, and this is discussing seizure first aid, which will be posted soon. Next slide. So yeah, these are 2 infographics that we have made so far, and we have many more ideas to come, and many more ideas are lined up. And that's it.
Hi, everyone. Oh, shit. Hi. Okay. So I was part of the events team. We mainly did a weekly blog post, and we plan on next quarter reaching out to potential guest speakers. And yeah, on the next slide, we have an example of the blog post that was recently posted. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Josh. I'm part of the high school program team. So our main points and purpose is to create a curriculum to increase the literacy about science and neurotech, and to also encourage students from elementary school to high school to explore applications of technology in science. And one of our accomplishments this quarter was that we made a basic outline of our curriculum that we would teach to these students. And Ashley and Sravia met with Interaxon. The original intent was to see if we could collaborate with Interaxon to teach students in high school, or to teach students in high school with a curriculum. But after that meeting, it seems like we have to be more flexible with our plans. So we're going more towards elementary students. Okay. Next slide. And yeah, this is our curriculum that we have so far.
Okay, so next, I'll be talking about our public relations team. Our team is smaller in comparison to the other committees. We have 6 people, but they all worked super hard this quarter to make the Instagram infographics and to keep our Instagram feed relatively consistent and aesthetic. So yeah, they'll just talk about what they've been doing so far.
Hey guys, my name is Yuenvi.
My name is Alicia.
And we're part of the meeting recaps team. So what we did was we utilized Canva to design the meeting recap posts that you guys see are posted on Instagram.
Yeah, and we basically, inside the post, we summarized main points of neurological disorder specialists like Dr. Bronstein last week. And on the right side is an example of what we made for the Instagram slides. And now we'll let the Spotlight team sub-team take it away.
Hi, I'm Lexi, and I work with Samantha, but she couldn't make it to the meeting today. And we were in charge of posting member spotlights and creating them. So far this quarter, we pretty much made a template for spotlights and how we wanted them to look. And then we came up with interesting questions and what we wanted to include in each post. And then we started by interviewing the club directors. And we are still making our way through all the directors so we can be sure to spotlight the team of the club. And then we will move on to members next. So look out, we might be reaching out to spotlight you guys.
Hi, I'm Ani, and I worked with Lydia, and we collaborated with the outreach and education teams to help finalize their designs for Instagram posts. So on the left, you can see an example. And yeah, I'll pass it on to the next slide.
Okay, so in addition to the current projects, we've also been working on membership T-shirts. So every single member in our team created a T-shirt design, and the front designs are shown here, and the next slide will contain the back shirt designs. And it's okay if you guys don't like see all the designs right now because we will be voting at the end of the meeting. So there will be like a Google form, and you guys can look at the all the pictures in more detail. And then here is basically our plan for winter quarter. We're planning on starting a fundraising campaign, and we're thinking about making a Valentine's Day theme. So it will be posted around February, and we'll be doing like small incentives and maybe like dares and stuff like that to raise money for our organization. And additionally, some other projects we want to work on. Like I mentioned, we're going to continue posting on Instagram about recaps and spotlights, but we're also going to have like some other projects that we're going to start working on, and they're listed here. And we also want to come up with like a schedule for posting on Instagram so that it's more unified. And yeah.
Okay, so now we have the innovation team. And so this group of members is basically in charge of breaking down the patent that Tiffany started, which is an eye-stop shaking device that uses gyroscopes and mini accelerometers to kind of target the tremors that patients with Parkinson's disease have, so it's central tremors. And so this quarter, they read scientific articles and started kind of breaking down the patent to better understand it so that hopefully next quarter we can start project proposals, so turning the patent into an actual device. Next slide. Okay, so we had some good old robust discussion with 5 scientific articles that we did throughout the course of fall quarter. And so one of them was basically just kind of a general overview of what Parkinson's disease is, and then 2 were on tremor recordings, and the other 2 were on tremor and Parkinson's classification. And so there were about 4 different groups within the innovation team. And so each group each week were assigned an article, and they took notes and then brought questions and these notes to the meetings. And then they were able to discuss the article together in different breakout rooms. And so these articles were kind of aimed towards supplementing the patent so that people had more background information going into reading the patent.
All right, and then after our little journey with the research articles, though we're still continuing with them, we started dissecting the patent application. And some aspects of what we discussed were logistics concerning reading the data, analyzing tremor classification, and data output. We also kind of combine scientific articles along with patent dissections just to see how what we're reading connects to what we might be building in the future. And we also discuss future applications of the patent and different variables we can test.
So looking forward to what we're going to do next quarter. The main thing is workshops and office hours. So we're going to have a lot of workshops from the mechanics, the physics of what's going on, user interface materials, and also coding workshops. And we know it's a lot, so we're going to have office hours as well. So you guys can come by, ask us questions. And if anything's confusing, we can always clarify that for you there. And then we're also going to dive into project proposals, learn the ins and outs of that. And we're going to make those for our advisor meetings. So the innovation team members are going to be responsible for that. And we're going to present that to our advisors. And at the end, we're going to have a demo day showing off what we've done that semester or that quarter.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to all of our directors, Shripad, who hasn't been to general meetings because he has class, Jane for leading all of the great discussions, Archie for helping out with the physics and the mechanics, and Nitin for being our amazing VP of Tech and keeping our website fresh and updated. So yeah, I think it's the end of recap. Okay. Let me stop sharing. And our officer team also, a little something to share. Here we go. All right, so let me preface this. As a new club, we are really grateful for every single one of you guys for attending your general meetings, for attending your committee meetings, and for just doing amazing work. And our executive team wanted to recognize a special few members who put in really extra work and really made hand shine this quarter. So here we go. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, introducing hand awards for this quarter. I think we're planning on creating a section on our website where we might ask members to share a few words. So yeah, let's get right into it. Here we go.
Yeah, so just congrats to Clara, Ellen, and Hugo. We just Sami and I just really saw y'all shine this quarter, and we were just really impressed. Obviously, everyone in education this quarter has done the utmost work this quarter and just showed up and showed out with every single project. But we just wanted to recognize these three people for kind of being the leaders that we saw in every discussion and in every committee meeting.
Yep, overall education did, you guys were so amazing. You guys hit the ground running and you all worked so well together. And Clara, Ellen, and Hugo in particular, we noticed you guys took the lead and you weren't really afraid to step up and take on extra tasks. So good for you guys. You guys did awesome this quarter.
Okay, yeah, so from outreach team, we wanted to say thank you to everyone, but we also wanted to recognize Robin, Daniel, and Jeffrey, one from each committee. Each person was super enthusiastic about the work they did, and yeah, they just were super engaged in every meeting and always stepped up to do things first.
Yeah, just to elaborate, these were always the people who were active and participating and always had thoughtful comments to say, and even outside of hand, they always provided suggestions on how we can improve meetings and take it further than we already have. So we're really thankful for that and all your good work.
Yeah, so for PR, everyone worked really hard. I actually had a really hard time trying to pick one single person, but I ended up choosing Lexi because she worked really hard on all of her designs, and during our committee meetings, she always gave really thoughtful feedback. And yeah, but everyone worked super hard.
All right.
And then for innovation team.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go for it. Go, Tiff. It's okay.
For innovation team, we've been meeting every Sunday, 12 p.m. Though we've only had 4 meetings, these 4 members really stood out to the team in their discussion leadings and their comments and insights regarding the innovation team. So first, Kristen, I'm not sure if she's here today, but we really appreciated your extra work. I remember you telling us you did like 2 extra hours of research on this one article we were reading, and you've been such a valuable member for HAND. Oh, actually, I think Shripad was introducing Alex. But Alex, if Shripad were here, he would say thank you so much for all your comments. We really enjoyed, talking with you, and you always having your camera on. It was nice seeing a friendly face for each meeting.
Yeah, and then for Max, you always showed great initiative in asking questions and kind of making the other members feel heard with their comments in the discussions. And you always brought like great energies and vibes all around. So we really loved that from you.
And for Giorgio, you always brought lots of insight to the article, to the patent, to whatever we were discussing. And even when your microphone wasn't working, you found ways to participate. So thank you for all your effort.
It's so cute. Yeah, here we go. I love this slide. Everyone from HAND's team, we want to say a big thank you to all of our members for making our very first quarter of HAND's existence amazing and awesome. And I look forward to continuing on for the rest of the academic year. And for the next 20-30 minutes, we'll do a little fun social. And you guys can also start voting on our t-shirt designs by scanning this QR code. Also, Pauline, if you want to drop the link in chat too, that'd be great. I think we have 3 rooms going on. I can try setting them up, but if anyone else has any game ideas, let us know in chat. But for now, we're gonna create 3 rooms. So here we go. Should we have 2 Among Us rooms? Feedback. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay. Ooh, game of trust and friendship. All right. Okay, cool. The room should all be open now. You guys can go into which one you want. You can rotate around. But let me stop sharing. Okay, sweet.